Hey guys, it's Jeff Goolsby here, bringing you just a quick update on what's going on with inventory levels, specifically what's going on with housing inventory in Roseville. All right, so if you watched any of my past videos, and by the way, too, part of my reason for doing this is I have this new streaming service that I'm using, and it's allowing me to broadcast to multiple channels. So I hope I'm coming in loud and clear. As I always ask this of people as they're watching, if you could just give me some thumbs up, some hearts, something, some thumbs ups in the little right-hand corner of Facebook, just to let me know that you can hear me, that would be fantastic because I'm trying out this new service. So anyhow, what I'm talking about today is housing inventory levels, specifically in Roseville. So if you watch my last market update, you'll know that basically right now we are in a bit of a housing crisis is a very scary word. It's a housing inventory crisis. We just do not have a substantial amount of inventory. Mostly in Roseville, right? And for the last several years now, it's been a declining level of homes available. So I wanted to just speak to you a little bit about that and what you might be able to expect in the months coming forward. Of course, none of us have a crystal ball. We can't predict what people are going to be willing to do in terms of whether or not they're going to put their house on the market, but we can look back at the years prior and, see sort of some pretty common trends. In fact, if you watch my last post that I did I think it was on my personal page, I asked the question, what was the highest number of homes available in any given month over the last 2 years? Now, the reason I bring that up is because what was interesting is there was actually two identical months, and those months were the exact same. So it was August and August, right? That's typically when we see peak inventory levels. Now, the reason I bring that up is because we see trends, right? There's seasonality in real estate. There's seasonality in our lives. We have school. We have school schedules. We have, work transfers tend to happen at certain parts of the year. Holidays play a factor in what we do and when we move. So it's realistic to think that we could look back, see some other trends, and kind of estimate what might happen going forward. So what I wanted to let you know about is where we're at this month to date. Okay, so currently on the market, actually, hold on. I'm pumped up. I'm excited. I love reporting this data to you, and I got ahead of myself. So I'm gonna actually just take it back a little bit further and just share with you some data in regards to, this is specifically Roseville. Okay, so this is Roseville in the last 2 years. So take it back. This is Roseville last year. Okay, 1 year. Roseville in the last 1 year. And the reason I'm looking at this is I'm comparing it basically to the months that we had last year, around February, March, April, May, versus the months we had this year, February, March, April, May is still a question mark, right? We're still early in May. We don't know exactly what to expect. But based on the trends, I can tell you, I have some points that I want to speak to you about so that you understand, why this is important. So 354 homes is the highest that we had seen in the last year. That was the biggest month, right? 139 homes is the lowest that we've seen in the last month. And actually, if I kind of reverse this out, so this is a 15-year span, just for some context, between the years of 2005 and really 2008, this is when we had peak inventory levels. What's actually really interesting about having peak inventory levels is we also had ridiculous prices happening at that time in comparison to the amount of homes that were available. So that's a very interesting thing. It kind of defies the rule of supply and demand. But anyhow, fast forwarding, you see here, these are the trends. This is a 15-year span, and this is not the months, this is the quarter. So going back into this last year, 139 is the lowest that we had seen, and that was basically the lowest ever in the last 15 years. In April of 2019, we saw 325 homes hit the market. Now, of course, we have some different things happening right now, right? Like the world is not a normal place. So April 2020, we have 220 homes on the market. So that's essentially a deficit of about 105 homes. So there are 105 less homes that went up for sale in April. In May of 2019, 14 homes went up for sale on the market. Now, of course, these are not we can't do exactly this year what we did last year, right? It's not realistic to think that we're going to have number for number, like for like numbers. However, it should, in theory, be close. Remember, August 2018 had 354 homes, and August of 2019 had 354 homes. So it's not unrealistic to say that we could be really close. So if we rewind that back a little bit and say, all right, well, if in April of 2019, we had 325 homes, and in April of 2020, we only had 220 homes, well, it's realistic to say then 105 homeowners maybe planned on putting their home up on the market, or somewhere near that number, maybe 75 homeowners planned on putting their home up on the market and did not. In May of 2019, 314 homeowners put their home up for sale on the market. Okay. Now we might be able to say, well, 220, there's 105 deficit. Maybe there'll be 305. Maybe those folks that didn't put their home up on the market in April will in May, and we'll see, 305. That'll be at least close to that last number, right? Well, here's what's interesting, and I hope that comes true, because we desperately need more homes for buyers. We need to normalize the market. We don't need to. We can ride out the seller's wave for a while, but we've been there. We've been riding it out for a long time. So as the market begins to normalize, it requires more inventory. Remember, we can bear quite a lot more inventory. So these were good markets, right? 2013 really up until now has all been good. So we can handle more inventory for sure. It's going to feel weird though, because here's the thing, guys. If the reason that they haven't, let's say that we know inventory is at an all-time low. I don't exactly know the reason why, probably because people had good interest rates, or they locked in a home that they're comfortable in. Maybe they plan on staying a little bit longer, whatever that reason is. But also we know that this year, the reason is because people were afraid to put their home up on the market, or they didn't know how to do it, in the environment that we're in. So it's safe to say that a lot of those homes are going to be actually coming up on the market soon, maybe 105 more than we expected the next month. Here's something else to think about. In 2019, we have February, March, April numbers here on this graph. Okay, February, March, April. Well, that totals for that total number of homes that went up for sale then is about 848 homes. In 2020, we can't just look at April. We also have to look at March, February, and realistically, we should probably look at January as well, but I don't have that number right now in this chart. In February, or in 2020, we had 163 homes hit the market, 187 in March, and 220 in April, for a total of 570 homes. 2019, 848, 2020, 570. That's a deficit of 278 homes. That's almost an entire month worth of inventory that did not come to the market. Okay. The reason I tell you this is it's kind of a two-part. It's going to be interesting to see how this plays out. The reason I tell you this is because I have a feeling that a lot more homes are going to hit the market very soon. And it's going to feel like we have too many homes. The supply of homes is going to feel heavy, because when you go from such a low bare market of supply, bare minimum amount of supply, to a healthy amount of supply, it's going to feel like a lot. Let me explain here what I mean. I'm going to actually share a different screen with you. Share my Google Chrome. I'm in MetroList right now. So these are, oh, sorry guys. These are all the homes that are currently active on the market in Roseville. So we've already seen an uptick in inventory. We have 270 homes. We started this week off actually with 270 homes available, if you remember my graphic. And of course, some have went pending, but of course, some have hit the market. Okay. Of the 270 homes, 52 of them have listed this week. From Monday, they've only been on the market for 5 days, or they've just recently returned to the market for some reason. But 250 of them, I'm sorry, 50 of them have just hit the market. Okay, 50 new listings in the last 5 days. We're at Friday. There's probably not going to be a whole lot more listings tomorrow or Sunday. Historically, that doesn't really happen. Usually, the homes do hit the market on, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. Of course, they roll in throughout the week. But right now, we're at 270. We have more listings that are sure to come up. We're early in the month. So let's just say that we keep the current pace of, let me pull up another slide for you guys. The graphic that I showed you earlier showed 270 homes available, active on the market, which is exactly where we're at today. And it also showed that 61 homes went pending sale, and then 30 homes actually sold. Okay. So if we kind of continue that pace of about 60 homes pending, right? 30 homes will close out, but of the 270, 60 of them will go away. We'll kind of shrink back down to 200. And of course, we have more inventory. So in the last 5 days, we know 50 homes hit the market. And we're at that rate, we're still okay. We're basically just meeting the demand. But man, barely. However, if we get all of those folks, the 278 that were waiting to put their home on the market for whatever reason this year, if we can get those folks to put their home, get on there, then it'll balance out a little bit more. We'll finally be able to meet the demand of home sellers or of home buyers. And what that'll do is, you guys, that's still a relatively low number, right? If we get all those homes on the market, of course, a bunch of them will go pending, 60 of them every week, maybe 50 of them, maybe 60, maybe 75 as buyers start to get out there and kind of start shopping a bit more. Because remember, buyer demand fluctuates also, right? So we know in March of last year, 180 home buyers bought. We know that in April of last year, 100, almost 200 home buyers bought. We know that in May, 240 home buyers bought. That's currently an entire month or more than an entire month of the current inventory that we have. Now, of course, buyer activity paused quite a bit in April of last year, but look at March. More buyers bought than homes that went up for sale that month. And same in February, or not same in February, but in February, still a very close number in comparison sold to the amount that went on the market. So what does this all mean? What it means is there's probably going to feel like a rush of inventory. There is definitely a pent up demand buyers that have either not been out looking or haven't been satisfied with what is currently available, which isn't much. There's pent-up demand, and we have a very low supply of homes in Roseville, right? This is specific to Roseville. What that means is this: having, getting your home on the market soon, right? When would you rather compete? Would you rather have your home on the market, here, or would you rather have your home on the market here? Do you want 139 homes to compete with? Do you want 220 homes to compete with? Do you want 270 homes to compete with? Or do you want 354 homes to compete with? Okay. It's a question to ask yourself in terms of timing. Like, look at the chart and see kind of what would you expect to happen next. So that's the one thing that you should consider, is what does the timing look like for you? What do you want to do? And then the second thing to consider is, what is your strategy going to be? And I know that's kind of a heavy, that's definitely me kind of putting in my sales role here. And as a professional real estate agent, I'm sort of embedding that question. But seriously, think about it. You need to think about, what is your strategy going to be when you actually do have your home on the market? You ask your agent, of course, what's your marketing strategy? How are you going to make your home stand out? What's my pricing strategy? All that stuff. But the fundamental thing that I need you to understand is that more homes are going to hit the market, right? What are you going to do to have your home stand out? So one thing to consider: more homes are coming. We still have a pent-up demand issue. We still have a lot of buyers that are looking to buy. So when is your timing going to be? When are you going to go on the market? When do you want it? And the second thing is, when you do, and all the other homes are on the market as well, how are you going to position yourself to stand out? And look at this, one more thing on that. Here, low, very, very low level, 220 homes, right? But still only half the buyers, right? We don't know what May is going to bring yet. We're seeing an uptick in buyer activity pretty much across the board. So this number should be much higher, should be closer maybe to here. But so will this number be much higher, right? So how are you going to attract the buyers that are actively looking right now in the marketplace? All right, so that's it. I just wanted to kind of put those things in your mind. If you are planning on putting your home up, you should really know these numbers. If you don't live in Roseville and you're watching this video, these numbers are very similar. In Rockland, they're somewhat similar in Lincoln. They're not going to change all that much. But definitely, if you are in another city, either reach out to me and I can put some data together for you. But actually, that'd be the best thing. Just reach out to me, let me know. And then, so yeah, when are you going to go on the market? And then what is your strategy going to be to stand out, so that when you are, and you're competing against other homes that finally decided to put their house on the market, remember, there's 278 other ones that haven't gone on yet, that didn't go on this year. There might be a big uptick. How are you going to stand out? All right. I hope this is valuable to you. If you have any more questions about it, let me know. If you are considering making a move sometime in the next 12 months, I highly, highly, highly recommend you book a strategy session with me. I'm on a mission to just fill up my calendar with helping homeowners sell their home, right? So reach out to me. Strategy now is critical and super, super important. And preparation, because maybe you do plan on selling your home in August when the inventory is going to be at its peak. You need to prepare now so that you are able to be successful when that time comes. All right. Thanks so much for watching. Jeff Goolsby with the Goolsby Group, here to help people